A dangerous mission to Afghanistan. 7 Marines were killed in a collision in a remote section of Yuma, Arizona. New at 6, we have new information on the risky technique used moments before 2 helicopters collided. But first, we have new pictures of one of the Marines killed. We just found out Camp Pendleton Marine Justin Everett was preparing for his 4th wartime tour of duty, and he would have been deployed to Afghanistan in just 2 weeks. The 33-year-old was a father of 2 from the Central Valley. The crash happened last night in a training area known as the Chocolate Mountain Range in Yuma, Arizona. Aerial video of the crash scene shows where the 2 helicopters went down after the mid-air collision. Both air crews were based at Camp Pendleton, but were under the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing at Miramar. And this is where 10 News military reporter Bob Lawrence is live tonight, highlighting some of the dangers that these pilots faced during these exercises. Bob?
Well, Kimberly, the act of flying in the military is inherently dangerous. That's why there's no such thing as a routine flight or routine mission. But now you add night vision goggles and close quarter flying, and it's even more dangerous. But it is a technique that all Marine helicopter aviators have to master. This is what the air crews were doing. Low-level flying in close proximity to one another. This was in daylight. Now add the element of darkness.
Having to fly at night close to the ground is even more difficult, and having to fly close to the ground at night next to another airplane can be very, very unforgiving of mistakes.
Colonel Ganyard was a former Air Wing commander and has flown in this training range countless times. This is what it looks like when pilots use night vision goggles. Yes, it allows them to see at night, but the goggles have their limitations.
The problem is these night vision goggles have a very, very narrow field of view, which means you're looking through about a 40-degree cone, which is not much more than you would look through a soda straw if you held it up to your eye.
The goggles also make it very difficult to look left or right or have depth perception to see another aircraft if one is approaching.
Barring any unforeseen mechanical problem, that this was probably something that involved one of the pilots in one of the aircraft losing sight of the other helicopter.
But he adds this kind of low-level, close-quarter flying at night is crucial for Marine helicopters.
Night training is something that we do routinely, just so that we're able to operate in combat across all conditions.
Investigators will be checking everything from maintenance records to flight logs to whether the crews had enough sleep the night before. Military helicopters do not have black boxes or collision avoidance systems like civilian planes do because of weight and cost. As for the crash, the loss is being felt throughout the Marine community.
Anytime there's a loss of life, whether it's 1, whether it's 7, it impacts the Marine Aircraft Wing and those family and friends very greatly.
And especially for Lieutenant Dooley, who said she knew one of the aviators. It is, after all, a very small community. We are live from MCAS Miramar. Bob Lawrence, 10 News.
It is small, Bob, and you've been part of it. I know that you flew over the Chocolate Mountains during training missions when you were in the military. What was that terrain like?
Actually, we took off from here at Miramar for a story, actually, in a T-28 trainer, that meaning the pilot was in front, I was in the back. My perspective was the instruments in front with a full helmet and upside down as we dove into the bombing range out there. But that's what it is for. It is so they can practice live fire exercises and they can train like they fight and fight like they train. That's the whole reason these air crews were out there.
All right.